Hi, my name is Jeff H. Sipe, and I have over 10 years of recruiting experience, including 5 years at Google. In this video, we're going to cover when was the last time you updated your LinkedIn profile. So I heeded my own advice before releasing this video today, and that's I went in and I made some updates. And it had probably been 3 to 6 months since I had really done somewhat of an overhaul. So I updated my background image to be clearer about my business. I highlighted my profile picture to have more of a spotlight and have less of a gray image on my face. I also zoomed in a little bit. I changed my headline up, completely different headline. I worked extensively on my summary, and I updated a little bit of my experience section, and then the last thing I did was I added additional content, put in some new, fresher YouTube content, and removed some of the old content. This took a little while, right? It's probably about a half an hour to 45 minutes, but the reality is that this is your living and breathing document, and if you are a job seeker or somebody who's interested in networking, people are viewing your LinkedIn profile way more than they're looking at your resume. And so I want to just cover some items today that you should be updating. And this is super, super important. This is a living, breathing item that is out there on the internet, and you want to consistently be updating it to just get more hits, right? And that could lead to anything. It could lead to a potential job opportunity, a networking opportunity, making a friend. There's endless opportunities here. Please hang with me. We'll get through this information pretty quickly today. So item one, background image. If you're like 60, probably 70% of people on LinkedIn, you have used LinkedIn's default background image. And the question is why, right? You wouldn't have a default background image for your Facebook page. So why are you doing it on LinkedIn? Really do something that has some sort of good connectivity to the business that you're in, the type of position you're in. What I want you to imagine is if that person doesn't know you at all, how are they connecting that picture to you? That's really, really the biggest item. And of course, if you've changed companies, put the company logo in there, especially if you're really proud and trying to help brand that company. But background image, you could be changing this all the time to kind of figure out what works and what doesn't work, but at least put something personalized in there because most people aren't. Item two, profile pic. And so I don't want you to listen to me on this item. Well, I actually do want you to listen to me on this item, but I want you to listen to the statistic. The most common statistic I see is 21 times more likely. You are 21 times more likely to get views on your profile with a profile pic. Even if it was 2 times more likely, that's enough data to tell you, hey, I should have a profile pic on here. And so the biggest thing with updating is just remember, if that picture's from 2008, it's probably time to update it. And the 4 or 5 items that I always like to reiterate are you're smiling. You have to be smiling in that picture. Your picture is definitely shoulders and above, only shoulders and above. You have a very simple background. Your clothes match the industry. For tech, you can bring it down. For banking, you probably want to be in a suit and tie. And then it's just you in the picture. Let's not mistake who we're looking at, who we're talking to, just a picture of you. Item 3, and probably the most complex, is the headline. And it's complex because it really depends on what you're trying to tell your audience, and you can constantly be changing your headline. It's something that, again, I changed today to look completely different. But your headline, if you have a position that you love at a company that you love, it should be that simple. So when I was at Google, it said technical recruiter at Google. And sometimes I provided a little bit more specificity, technical recruiter at Google, recruiting cloud software engineers. Right, so more specificity is definitely better. It will help you attract that target audience. But your headline really is, it's going to be the catcher. It's going to be something that brings people in. And then one other little trick with the headline, when you look at your name, after your last name, you can actually add a comma and then your role as well. So if you want to say something a little bit different in the headline. So for instance, for me, let's go back to Google. I could say Jeff H. Sipe, comma, technical recruiter. And then I could go into more specificity on what I'm recruiting at Google. So you can use that trick as well, and that will give you more room to be more descriptive in the headline. play around with the headline a lot. There are a ton of great videos and articles on headline. So just check it out. Really just be flexing and adapting. And I change my headline probably about every 3 months just to see what's going to capture the audience. Item 4 is information, and so this is what comes up in that little right hand side. It's going to be your company, your university, and your contact info. So for company, just make sure that that little company icon is up to date. I see a lot of times people move companies and that piece isn't up to date. Universities, even if you didn't go and get a secondary education and you graduated high school, icons. A lot of times the icons are missing. And what I've noticed is that even for high schools, like my high school 2 years ago didn't have an icon, but now it does. So you go in and you remove it and then you search by your specific school and the icon will now very likely pull up. Put that icon in there. It makes it a little bit more visually stimulating. And then the last and big one, make sure your contact info is up to date. A lot of times I'll have first connections and I'll click into their contact info because I want to email them. And it's an email address from 3 companies ago, and or it's a Hotmail, Yahoo, AOL, and I'm not sure, hey, has that person actually changed over to a Gmail account? There's probably at least a 50% chance that they have. And so that contact info, especially if you want people to be connecting with you, is really important. And then the last piece on the contact info is, are you getting the LinkedIn notifications you want? Make sure that that contact info is up to date and that everything that you want to see on LinkedIn is coming your way. Item 5, the summary. So for most people, it's so critical that you add skills into your summary because this is how you're going to show up in keyword searches, and it's not always about a new job. It's just about opening doors to meet new people, network, and utilizing the tool to its benefit. So really add in those keywords. And as I've chatted in my other videos, the first 3 lines. What do you want to say in those first 3 lines that have keywords, that are dynamic, that are just getting your audience excited? Think about, what if they didn't click the See More button? Have you said everything in those top 3 lines that you need people to know? And then of course you're going to do a deeper dive into the summary. That was something else that I worked on today, just making sure I was getting more keywords in there. The summary is always a work in progress. You can always be tweaking and updating this, but as you get new key skills, especially anybody in the technical field, so any software engineer, if you've added Swift or Python or any of those skills, get those right in the top of your summary. It's really, really going to help you be found. Okay, let's pause for just 1 second. So these top 5 items, this is what somebody sees if they don't scroll at all. They don't click on anything, they just come into your profile. So if you don't update anything else, this is the most critical. But let's segue into item 6, which is experience. It's the last item. It's one of the areas where I think people struggle a lot with what to say, what to do. And from an updating standpoint, one of the big updates you need to make, especially if you've made a new career move, is just get in the basic job description, responsibilities. Just get those in there. Again, from a keyword standpoint, it's going to be so critical to have those in there. Literally, just think about the summary as an update of your resume. Copy and paste. Don't listen to the pundits out there that are saying your LinkedIn profile under experience can't look like your resume. It absolutely can, because it's really about keywords. One other real pro tip that I want to recommend when I see updates happening on LinkedIn profiles is job changes. Let's say you've been at a job for 10 years and you moved up from, let's say, an analyst to a manager and now you're director. Don't put just director. It's not only misleading, it's actually not honest. You haven't been a director at that company for 10 years. You've been a director for 6 months or a year. So just make sure that you're showing that progression, and within that progression, creating bullets under each position so I can see that progression, I can see what you've done. And again, those keywords from your analyst role might also be important for a potentially new director role, because it shows that you understand the potential people that you would be managing. This is a lot. It feels like a lot. It feels a little fast today, but updating your LinkedIn profile is so key, and I continue to do LinkedIn videos. This is my 6th video, and people aren't watching. And what's happening is there's a huge opportunity that's being missed, and I think it's part of being on the YouTube platform. There are over 600 million users on LinkedIn. If you're not continually doing these updates, let's say every 3 months at a minimum, maybe 3 to 6 months, you're missing some potential opportunities that could be great for you. I hope this helps. Thanks.